Hi, I'm Andrew Perry, and I'm going to be teaching you guys a little bit about how to use the sponge tool. The sponge tool is basically one of the toning tools found among other tools like the burn tool and the dodge tool. With these tools, you can basically, with the sponge tool, you're saturating an image. So normally people are going to usually select on the lasso tool and select a specific area and then click Command U, and it's going to bring up their saturation little thingamajig here. And with that, you can basically change the saturation of an image. In this case, obviously I haven't selected anything, so it's changing the whole thing. But really, the sponge tool allows you to get a little bit a better type, a little bit better of a way to saturate an image. So basically, you're going to want to click on your saturation, your sponge tool over here, and you're going to want to make sure that you have multiple layers. As you can see here, I've already named them original, saturate, and desaturate, which you'll understand here in a second. And then you're going to come up here and you're going to click on basically your brush tool, because that's what it is. You're going to want to make sure your hardness is set down to a 0%. Basically, at 100%, it just makes it a lot harder to be able to get a good saturation, a good flow, and a feathering that you're wanting. And so that's why you're going to want to set it that. The size is basically just, you can do that with your brackets, and it just changes the size of your brush. Next, you're going to want to come over here with the flow. Normally, for an image, you're going to want about 10 to 20%, but for this specific image, we're going to use about a 50% flow. Next, you're going to look over here to your right of flow, and it's going to be the airbrush. You're going to want to make sure that is not selected, just because it doesn't bring out the proper way that you want to paint over your image, and it just makes kind of a mess of things. Then over here, we're going to click on the saturate. That's going to be for the mode. You're going to want to make sure that you can go back and forth between these two. So over here, just double check, we're already on the saturate mode. So at this point, we're going to just kind of paint over it, and we're just going to lighten up some of the areas, kind of bring out some saturation in our image. And we're just going to do that. Alright, now we can see that we've added a little bit of color into the image, a little bit of saturation, and it really doesn't look too bad. Now if you were to hide that layer, you can see the original, and you can see some of the color that's been brought out with the saturation tool. So now we're going to lock that one, and we're going to click on our desaturate tool, and we're going to have to come up here to mode and change to desaturate. So with this, we need to be able to open it up so we can see it. You're going to just start painting over that as well with the desaturate tool. And this is just going to start turning things obviously like gray, kind of sepia type like. And it's kind of the overall effect. And so you can turn that off, and you can see the saturate, and you can see the original, and you see the original, compare that with the desaturate. And that's basically what the sponge tool does, is that it saturates and desaturates your images in such a way that allows you to have more control over the saturation, where you're wanting it specifically, and how you want it in your overall image. So I hope you enjoyed basically the tutorial that I've shared with you today, and I hope you learned a little bit more about the sponge tool. Thanks for watching.